She hurried past the fountain towards a double gate. As the letter had promised, it stood ajar, and Mora eased herself between its heavy leaves. The mansion within the walls had been built from a pale stone of a kind she hadn't seen before, imposing without being monolithic, as a great many grand structures of Noxus often were, nor, the more she studied it, did it adhere to any one particular style, but rather a collection of architectural movements that had come and gone over the centuries. Foremost among such oddities was a rough stone tower rising over the main building, and this portion alone appeared out of place. It gave the impression that the mansion had been built around some ancient shaman's lair. The effect should have been jarring, but Mora rather liked it, as though every aspect of the mansion offered a glimpse into a bygone age of the Empire. Its windows were shuttered and dark, and the only light she saw was a soft crimson glow at the tower's summit. She followed a gravelled path through an exquisite garden of elaborate topiary, carefully directed waterways and strange-looking flowers with exotic scents and startlingly vivid colors. This, together with the spacious plaza outside, suggested fabulous wealth. The idea that she had been chosen for this task sent a frisson of pleasurable warmth through her limbs. Hundreds of colorful butterflies with curiously patterned wings flitted to and fro between the flowers. Such light and fragile creatures, yet so beautiful and capable of the most miraculous transformation. Mora had never seen butterflies at night, and she laughed with joy as one alighted on her palm. The tapered shape of its body and the patterning on its outstretched wings was uncannily similar to the winged blade heraldry she saw flying on every Noxian flag. The butterfly fluttered its wings and flew away. Mora watched it circle and swoop with the others, amazed to see so many rare and wonderful creatures. She let her fingers brush the colorful leaves as she passed, savoring the scents clinging to her fingertips and drifting up in motes of dust that glittered in the moonlight. She paused by a particularly beautiful bloom, one with flame-red petals so bright they took her breath away. No red she had ever mixed from Shuriman cinnabar or Piltovian ochre had achieved such luster. Even the ruinously expensive Ionian vermilions were dull by comparison. She chewed her bottom lip as she considered what she was about to do, then reached out to pluck a number of petals from the nearest plant. The flower's remaining petals immediately curled inwards, and the stem bent away from her, as if in fear. Mora felt terrible guilt and looked up at the mansion to see if she had been observed, but the shuttered windows remained closed and lightless. The front door stood open, and she paused at its threshold. The letter had told her to enter, but now that she was here, Mora felt a curious reluctance. Was this some trap? A means to lure her to some unspeakable fate? If so, it seemed needlessly elaborate. The notion felt absurd, and Mora chided herself for letting fear get in the way of what was likely to be the greatest opportunity of her life. She took a breath, stepped across the threshold, and entered the mansion. The vestibule was vaulted by dark and heavy timbers, with faded murals of the Empire's early, bloody days painted in the spaces between. To Mora's left and right, wide openings revealed long galleries draped in shadow, making it difficult to tell who or what might be displayed. A long, curving staircase climbed to an upper mezzanine and a wide archway, but what lay beyond was impossible to make out. The vestibule was all but empty, save for what looked like a large, sheet-draped canvas upon an easel. Mora tentatively approached the covered canvas, wondering if this was to be where she would paint. She hoped not. The light here was ill-suited to portraiture. Where moonlight pooled on the herringbone floor, the space was bright, but elsewhere It was entirely dark, as though the light refused to approach these corners. "Hello?" she said, and her voice echoed through the vestibule. "I have a letter." Her words lingered, and Morris sought in vain for any sign she wasn't entirely alone in the strange house in the middle of the night. "Hello?" she said again. "Is anyone here?" "I am here,"